No man is rich enough to buy back his past. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Whenever a man does a thoroughly stupid thing, it is always from the noblest motives. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. The old believe everything, the middle-aged suspect everything, the young know everything. Man can believe the impossible, but man can never believe the improbable. There is no necessity to separate the monarch from the mob. All authority is equally bad. The moment you think you understand a great work of art, it's dead for you. The well-bred contradict other people, the wise contradict themselves. A man who does not think for himself does not think at all. Experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. One's real life is so often the life that one does not lead. It is better to be beautiful than to be good, but it is better to be good than to be ugly. To expect the unexpected shows a thoroughly modern intellect. Experience is one thing you can't get for nothing. It is better to have a permanent income than to be fascinating. Whenever people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. Humanity takes itself too seriously. It is the world's original sin. If the caveman had known how to laugh, history would have been different. A little sincerity is a dangerous thing, and a great deal of it is absolutely fatal. When the gods wish to punish us, they answer our prayers. What is a cynic? A man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. If you pretend to be good, the world takes you very seriously. If you pretend to be bad, it doesn't. Such is the astounding stupidity of optimism. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh, otherwise, they'll kill you. Always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, there is no use in reading it at all. The pure and simple truth is rarely pure and never simple. The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame. You can never be overdressed or overeducated. I don't want to go to heaven, none of my friends are there. A good friend will always stab you in the front. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. I think God, in creating man, somewhat overestimated his ability. I always pass on good advice. It is the only thing to do with it. It is never of any use to oneself. Never love anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. I can resist anything except temptation. Life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Man is a rational animal who always loses his temper when he is called upon to act in accordance with the dictates of reason. It is absurd to divide people into good and bad. People are either charming or tedious. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live, it is asking others to live as one wishes to live. An excellent man, he has no enemies, and none of his friends like him. Life is far too important a thing ever to talk seriously about. The nicest feeling in the world is to do a good deed anonymously and have somebody find out. A thing is not necessarily true because a man dies for it. The only way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people we personally dislike. It takes a great deal of courage to see the world in all its tainted glory, and still to love it. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Behind every exquisite thing that existed, there was something tragic. Society often forgives the criminal, it never forgives the dreamer. In this world there are only two tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. When I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. When one is in love, one always begins by deceiving oneself, and one always ends by deceiving others. That is what the world calls a romance. Hatred is blind, as well as love. The only difference between the saint and the sinner is that every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. The true mystery of the world is the visible, not the invisible. Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught. Questions are never indiscreet, answers sometimes are. Keep love in your heart. A life without it is like a sunless garden when the flowers are dead. Success is a science. If you have the conditions, you get the result. Ambition is the germ from which all growth of nobleness proceeds. There is no sin except stupidity. Those who find ugly meanings in beautiful things are corrupt without being charming. This is a fault.